I will share my screen. Let's see here, this one. Okay, so thank you for coming to the workshop. My name is Dan Laird. I am the Media and Design Specialist for Campus Technology Services. I am the administrator of Panopto on campus, and what I'm going to show you, if you heard earlier or not, I'm fairly acquainted with Zoom. I'm not a Zoom expert, but I'm going to show you where the recordings are in Zoom. If you do, when you go to record a class in Zoom, it gives you the option to save to the cloud. And when you do that, those videos are available, but there's going to be some retention policy, and I don't know what that is. I believe at the end of each semester, those need to be purged because we only have a set amount of space in Zoom. So what I'm going to show you is a way to take those out and put them in a different platform. The platform that I'm going to truly focus on is Panopto, because that is something that we have as a service that we pay for. It's a bit more robust than the other options. So, and it allows you to share those materials back out to, if you're going to be teaching a similar class in the future, you'll still be able to easily share those in Blackboard or any other LMS you might be using. So let me first, so to access the Zoom recordings, you go to zoom.us and then you log into your account. And once you do that, you'll see this menu on the side, on the left-hand side, and that is there's a section for the recordings. So that's where I've gone in here. So I believe by default you're spit out into this profile menu, and then from there you click on recordings and you'll be able to see everything that you've uploaded to the cloud. So this is the only one I have in there, so I'm going to click on it. And you can see here, it has a couple different files that are available. I spoke earlier, there's a transcript available, but that's something that if you're worried about captioning, Panopto does automatically for any files that you upload to it. So you're not gonna have to worry about importing that. But if you have a need for a transcript, it's here. So just so you're aware. Typically, you're just going to need the shared screen with speaker view. So this is going to be the audio and the video of your Zoom session. So this is the file that you're going to want to download. And when you hover over it, there's this download button. So that will open up your dialog. You can save it to your computer. And then, so that is now residing on your computer. I would not recommend that you use your computer as your main option for storage. We all know, hardware can fail, and files can be lost if you don't have a good backup solution. So I would recommend that you upload it to a service like Panopto. So this is my Panopto folder. So there's two ways that you can get into Panopto. One is through a Blackboard course that you have Panopto set up in. You can see your folder and all the other folders that you have available. You can also go to the website directly, which I don't know how well you can see it up here, but it is oswego.hosted.panopto.com. So if you go to that website, there's a pull down that you can select Oswego Blackboard as your login. And you can log in using those credentials that you use on campus to get into Blackboard. So there's two different ways that you can get to this screen. So I don't know if I'm going too fast or not. Does anybody have any questions so far? We good? Okay. Feel free to stop me if you have a question. So once you're in your folder, there's this green create button here. And the third option down is upload media. So you click on that. You have two options. You could either drag from another folder on your computer into this and it'll start uploading. I'm going to click on this and go find the file. which is right here. So this is the video that I downloaded from Zoom. And it's a really short one, so this is going to take very long. So this is uploading it to Panopto, and says the upload's complete, and you can close the window now. Do not close this window until your downloads are done. Some of these Zoom files can be pretty big. I've seen some in excess of a gig. So be mindful of how big the file is, and don't close this window until it's done uploading. If you do, it'll interrupt the upload. So after it gets uploaded, you'll see this processing. And what that's doing is it's processing on the server so that it can be available for viewing. And this one probably isn't going to take too long. But so I'm going to close that, and you'll see it'll show up in the folder you have open that it's still processing. In here, like I told you earlier, it does get automatically captioned. And since this is such a, I think it might be a 30-second video, it will probably get captioned fairly quickly. Even with an hour session, it does a pretty good job of getting it done quickly. It should be done the same day, if not within an hour. So that all depends on the load on the server, but that's typically what I see. So, and then, so we have unlimited storage in Panopto. So this will stay here as long as you want it to. You can keep your recordings here. They're not going to be deleted. We are charged not by the space taken, but by how much usage of the system there is, like how many people view, how many like viewing hours there are. So you can fill this to your heart's content. So if you've got large files, don't worry about it. They'll be fine, being here. So you won't need to worry about taking anything out of the system anytime in the near future. So that's it in a nutshell with uploading to Panopto. Does anybody have any questions about that process? I did have
I do, Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
I have a lot of Zoom videos now from all my classes last semester.
A lot of people do.
is there a way to automate this, or is it each individual video we have to go and do this?
Well, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this for some folks that have their content in Ensemble, because we've run out of space in that solution, which is why I'm steering everyone to Panopto. But you can do multiple files in this window. You can either drag or select multiple files. You can see, okay, like right here, I can select both of these.
Okay.
So you can select as many as you want, and just do a bulk upload. It's just that you're going to need to make sure that this stays open. So if you've got 50 gigs worth of videos, it's going to take a while, and you're going to need to make sure that this tab doesn't get shut down. So
okay.
So that part of it is you can do in bulk. You just need to make sure it's still up.
Dan, I have a question for you. Actually, two short questions.
Sure.
First one, you worked with me last semester with Panopto videos for my classes.
Right.
I'm assuming those were already there in my folder, because I seem to recall creating them that way.
Yep.
So just for that semester, that class, I can go back and they're either there, available, or archived.
Yes, you are correct. You will have access to those going forward. They're in there. If you recorded anything in Panopto, it will be retained in that system. There is no retention policy right now, since we don't get charged for any storage. Okay. So it's indefinitely at this moment.
Right. The second question is kind of a dumb one, given the title of this session, Downloading and Storing Zoom Videos.
Yes.
But I assume, I haven't used Zoom much other than for office hours. That there's like some kind of little record button, and we can just do that, and then afterwards we can download it to Panopto.
Yes. So John might know a little bit more, but I think so. In the menu in the screen share, there's a more button, and I believe that's how it is, even though I'm not sharing the screen.
Yeah,
Once
it's
you-
either on the bottom or the top, depending on whether you're screen sharing or not. And it's sometimes if it's on the bottom, it's just there right in the middle of the screen. It says record, and then you get the choice of on the computer or in the cloud. If it's if you're doing a screen share, it's on the top, and then it's under the more button, and then you get the same options.
Okay, is there a way to practice this? Like just
Yes.
just
Yes, open a Zoom session, create a Zoom session, open it, record it, click record, and then click stop, and then you'll get the video.
but then I can try like uploading it to one of my classes, like say one of last semesters where nobody's going to be looking.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
You do get an email that notifies you when the processing of the Zoom recording is complete. So
Okay,
after
just
you-
like with Panopto.
Yep. It'll say
Right.
this is available. Click here to view it, and then after that happens, you can download it and put it wherever you want.
Okay. Sounds good.
Anything else?
That's all.
Okay.
Mute myself now.
All right. Any other questions related to Panopto and Zoom?
Hi. I think there are several questions in the chat, but I'll be quick. Can a video recording saved to Panopto be also then saved to Google? Can it be shared to Google Classroom?
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
You can. I'll just show you real quick while I'm here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So in your folder, you'll have the videos here, and there's you hover over it with your mouse. There's a share button. So two things you can do. You can either take the link and embed that, or there's an embed code, which is a little more complicated. I mean, this is the embed code that you can put into, I believe, most of the LMSs out there will take HTML and be able to process this. So the only thing you need to worry about is the permissions, because by default, anything you upload is going to be only available to you. Like you can see here, it's just me. So you would need to be concerned with if you're putting it into another LMS besides Blackboard, then you would need to worry about setting up permissions. So if you don't mind if the link, like if you did this, it doesn't publish the video out into any search engines, but that link is public. So you probably, depending on how you feel about the video, if you want only your students to see it, this is the easiest way to share it, but there is some risk of, if one of them takes the link and shares it with somebody else, that is something that could happen. So within Blackboard, the folders set up with the LTI integration with Panopto, it automatically sets up permissions for you. So that's one advantage of doing it that way. So
Thank you, Dan. I don't know, quick question. Is any of this sort of written up somewhere, these various steps?
I mean, yeah, for the most part, there's my Panopto page on the CTS website is oswego.edu/CTS/Panopto. So on there are some help resources to specific questions that normally people ask. I'll just show it to you real quick.
Thank you.
Yeah. So go. So this is the intro page and the help resources underneath it. These are all support articles from Panopto, and this is usually what most of the questions I get are, particularly copying and moving recordings to new classes. Like this is one of the most asked questions. So there are things here that'll help you out. If you don't see what you need here, there is a Panopto has a support site. It's support.panopto.com. I'll just bring that up real quick. And this has anything that you could ever think of to do with the system. So you click on documentation and it has many, many hours of tutorial viewing at your fingertips. So that help, Maureen?
Yes, thank you very much, Dan.
No problem. Okay. Now I know in the session description it did say YouTube and Google Drive. I'm going to cover those briefly. One thing that Panopto, the advantage of doing it in Panopto and not one of the other systems is that it's easily integrated into Blackboard. Plus, the captioning service is superior to that of the other services. I don't think, if you put it into Google Drive, it doesn't do captioning. So that is something, if you did store these into a Google Drive, it will not take care of captioning for you. So I'm going to show you YouTube and hope that one of my kids has not been on here. Let's see. And I'm going to switch it to my school account. Bear with me. And it's not here. Okay, so I will need to sign in. Give me a second. Okay. Yes, me. Okay, so if you didn't already know, your school account has the ability to have its own YouTube site channel, as it's coined. So up here at your front page, there's a create button. So you click on that and it gives you the option to upload a video. So that'll bring you to the upload screen. And now it's telling me, yes, there's a new version of, all right, thank you. There. So here you can select the same files that we did earlier with Panopto. And let's see, here it is. So that will upload your video to YouTube. Here you can make sure that, let's see, I don't know if you can do it. This is a new screen, actually. I haven't seen the new setup for this. More options. Language, recording, license, category. It used to have the permissions for this set up. I think that might be under step 3. So I'm going to hit next.
Yeah, well, you do have to say it's not for kids because they have special content there. And
yeah, that's by default. So
yeah.
Okay. So these are some video elements you don't need to worry about. Here we go. So if you don't want it to be listed and you just want to store this, you can click private. And then from there, only you can see it. You can share it out if you want to. It's up to you. Unlisted, that is something that you could do that you would be able to share it to an LMS, like share the link or embed it in there. But again, as the same thing that I said before, that makes the link public. So even though it says unlisted, it's not going to be published in a search engine. It's not available that way, but the link could be shared out if someone copy and pasted it somewhere else. So that's something that you need to be concerned with using this. It does have automatic captioning. There is nothing telling you, like you don't get an email or anything that says when it's done. It can vary wildly when it is done. I don't know, John, you've probably seen it more than me lately. Does it still take quite a while, or is it?
It's usually pretty quick. If it's say a half an hour to an hour, it will normally be up within a half an hour, 40 minutes.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. Yeah, it used to be just who knows when it would show up, but so that's good. So that does take care of captioning. The captioning in Panopto is a bit better. It does include punctuation, which, that alone, just finding where the periods and commas go and capitalizing the beginning of your sentences, even if the transcript is accurate, it still takes a while to put in punctuation. So that's another consideration when doing this. So So that's YouTube. Any questions with this? I'm going to save it and it says, hey, it's available. So if I want to, I can share the link. I made this unlisted, so I could share this, but if I did private, then it wouldn't have a shareable. So, okay, real quick, I know I'm running over time. In Google Drive, this is available, you know, when you're in your email, there's this square up in the corner that has all the Google apps. You click on Drive, you make a folder for the recordings, and then you can either drag your files here, or you can click on New, File Upload, and here I can go and grab that same video and open. So this is just file storage. Like I said before, this doesn't do captioning. There is a spot in it where if you had the captions, you could put them in, but it doesn't do it on its own. So this is just purely file storage. And this is, our accounts are unlimited on campus, so. All right, that's everything I had to share. Anybody have any other questions on the process? If you think of anything later, feel free to email me, daniel.laird@oswego.edu. So that's it. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Dan.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Dan.
Have a good day, everybody.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
What's that, John?
Okay, I'll stop the recording.